Good evening, and welcome along to the big show here on NVTV. Hope we find you well this evening. Now, coming up on the show, we'll be chatting to Eamon Quinn from the local charity Engage with Age, and he'll be telling us about a number of great new projects that older people can get involved in.
And earlier this week, Robin caught up with Conleth Kane. He is a singer-songwriter from here, and he's now based in London, and he has done a new version of his song Proud. The new song is raising money for NHS charities and the Rainbow Project. Here's Conleth Kane with Proud.
We're proud of who you are. We're proud of what we see. Looking after our nation in this time of need. We're proud of what you do. This song's from us to you, to show our appreciation, and we'll stay at home to help you through. You couldn't care anymore if you tried to. You couldn't care anymore, no, no. We wanna thank you, 'cause we're proud, and we will sing it loud. You couldn't care anymore, no, no. So thank you. We're proud of our NHS. You've helped us through this crisis, risking your own lives time after time, and we're telling you that we feel blessed. We're proud of what you stand for, and we clap for you at our front doors. It must be so painful, we're eternally grateful, and we couldn't ask for any more. You couldn't care anymore, no, if you tried to. You couldn't care anymore, no, no. We wanna thank you, 'cause we're proud, and we will sing it loud. You couldn't care anymore, no, no. So thank you. Compassion and care, commitment and courage, competence, communication. Compassion and care, commitment and courage, competence, communication. You couldn't care anymore if you tried to. You couldn't care anymore, no, no. We wanna thank you, 'cause we're proud. We are proud, and we will sing it loud. You couldn't care anymore, no, no. You couldn't care though you couldn't care anymore. So thank you.
So that's Conleth Kane. That's the new single which is out now, raising money, of course, for the Rainbow Project and NHS charities. That's called Proud. And earlier on this week, I caught up with Conleth. Here's what happened.
I'm keeping well. I've adjusted to this new way of life, but I'm very much looking forward to normality returning, as I'm sure everyone else is.
So yeah, you're keeping yourself busy during lockdown. You've just finished an online yoga class, haven't you?
That's right. Yes, I do online yoga every day, and it is Mental Health Awareness Week, you know, and so I find yoga, not only does it contribute to the well-being of my physical health, but it really helps my mind. And this is quite a challenging time for us all, so I like to have something to just set aside an hour for myself every single day, just so that I focus on me and how I'm feeling. And yeah, but I've done yoga now for since 2007, very long time. So for me not to incorporate into my daily routine would be quite odd.
So during lockdown as well, is this a good time to be creative? Are you writing lots at the moment?
Actually, do you know something? A lot of people have asked me that, and I've got a bit of a writer's block at the moment. And I spoke with a few other creative friends, songwriters and writers and stuff like that, and they're also having difficulty as well. I think from a writing point of view, I think I'll probably be writing about this in a year's time. You know, when I've digested how I've felt, and when I come out the other side, I always write about how I felt in the past. I never write how I feel in the current moment, because I always think when you look back on something, you can evaluate it better. So it's not really been a time to get creative, because I was meant to be releasing my album in June. So for me, I've spent all my time being creative. This is my debut recorded pop album, which is I released a live album last year, which is a completely different setup, but this is my debut produced full studio album, which was meant to be coming out in June. So in my mind, the creative process for me had been completed for now. But you know, it's been hard to have. I had like a few days at the end of February, beginning of March, where I just received call after email after text saying this is cancelled, that's cancelled, this has been pulled, that's been pulled. And not only from a financial point of view is that quite hard to take in, but when you spend so long recording a pop album, and you surround its release with promotional appearances, and you know, it's really important that you promote a record and bring it to new audiences, and to have that, you know, financially, yes, it was very worrying, but from a PR perspective, the cancellation of every single gig, radio show, Pride event, festival was really devastating from an artist point of view who really wanted to see his record do well. But I found myself in a position a few weeks ago where I got approached by my friend John, who is a nurse on a COVID ward. And he said to me, Conleth, we are releasing a montage video from our hospital, and we want to use your song Proud, but we were wondering if you would rework it slightly for us. And I said, well, yeah, sure. Because John, for me, he comes to all of my gigs. He's my biggest supporter. Anytime I do a show, he's the first one to buy a ticket. He's the first one in the front row. And now that he's given the performance of his career in the front line at the NHS, I couldn't say no. My only worry is that Proud for me is kind of my biggest song, and it's got such sentimental value to me that I was afraid to touch it and rework it, because I wanted to do the song justice, but I also wanted to do our frontline workers justice as well. And I live with a sound engineer, so we re-recorded the song. I rewrote parts of it, and I thought, well, actually, this sounds so great. Why don't we release it as a charity single?
So it's raising money for the NHS charities and also for the Rainbow Project as well.
Yeah, I saw the connection there, because I've always wanted to do something for the Rainbow Project. You know, because I think we all have to remember there's going to be a tsunami of mental health issues after all of this. And they very much focus on mental health awareness. And they're a charity that I used in the past to help me with my mental health when I first came out at the age of 16. I went to the Rainbow Project. So I've always wanted to repay them in some way, shape or form. So I thought, you know, what better way to do an NHS charity single, give money to the NHS, but also contribute to the Rainbow Project, because we have to remember there are lots of charities at the moment who aren't getting anything. So, and it's important to keep them afloat. And I thought there was a real connection with the rainbow on the single artwork. And the song Proud was originally written for me from an LGBT perspective. So it all seemed very fitting to make the connection.
And the reviews and stuff online have been amazing, haven't they?
You know, it's been great. And the song is Pride's a really strong pop song. So to have it reworked and for it to be received so well has been fab. And it went to number 13 on iTunes, which was mind-blowing, you know, because I did no promotion for it. I'm unable to go out and perform it. So it's all been from my bedroom. You know, I've been, so to actually get a release out online, and I'm not signed to a record label, and for it to just, you know, fly up the charts over the weekend was really quite something. It was nice to you know, remind people that I'm a singer-songwriter, give money to the NHS, give money to the Rainbow Charity, and still be creative in some way, shape, or form. And also, I think we're going through a moment in history. We're going to be able to tell, you know, kids in years to come that we lived through the pandemic. And I want to look back and go, I did more than just, you know, chill out in my flat. I want to look back and be really proud of something. And I'm really proud of the fact that it's done well.
So what's the first thing you're looking forward to when we eventually get ourselves out of lockdown then?
Well, I was meant to be coming home in April, so I haven't seen my parents in a long time, and my siblings live internationally. My two sisters live in Oz, and my older brother lives in San Francisco, and I'm in London. So mum and dad are on their own over in Lurgan. So I was due to go over on the 4th of April, but I cancelled due to all the panic set in at that stage, and there's a lot of pandemonium and everyone was really panicking about the virus. And the last thing I wanted to do was catch something in an airport and bring it home to my parents. So I cancelled the trip. So I'm very much looking forward to getting the trip home. And then also just seeing my friends and touching base with the social side of my life, which has been non-existent for the past 2 months. You know, it's been really hard for me, as I'm a social butterfly. I love nothing more than to be out and about and doing things. And so to be stuck in a flat in London, especially when the weather is incredible, it's been really mentally challenging. But yeah, I'm looking forward to just seeing people. And also, I think we'll all emerge from this as much more grateful, much more humble people. You know, it's been a life-changing experience and very unexpected. None of us knew this was around the corner.
So while you've been in your flat, what have you been doing? Have you been binge watching stuff on Netflix? Are you listening to any music? What's happening at the minute?
I'm near the end of this book. It's called The Silent Patient. So yeah, and you know something? I used to love reading, and over the past few years I've been so busy I haven't made time to read. So actually this, to get back into reading has been really, really therapeutic, because, you know, I just sit it. And also at night, and bear in mind I live in central London, you could hear a pin drop from about 6 p.m. onwards. You feel like you're living in the middle of the country. You know, I open my windows and you can't hear a sound. I've got my glass of wine and my book. This is a Saturday night. I just had a moment where I thought, I'm 36 years old. I'm sat with my feet up on a Saturday night at 7 p.m. drinking a glass of wine, reading a book. How life has changed. Rewind 7 weeks ago, I'd have been gallivanting around Soho.
So as you said that you're 36 years of age, you've done so much in your career so far, from the musical theatre stuff to the acting to the music now as well. Is music the way forward? Is this going to be the future for you?
Yeah, well, I started out in music, you know. That was my first passion, and then I branched into. Then I went into musical theatre, and I had a lovely career on stage, and I did bits and bobs of telly, and I did reality TV as well. And I really enjoyed that era of my life, but I really enjoy being creative. I love writing, and I love writing pop music, and I think I've really found my niche. And in my mid-30s, I think you spend your 20s really trying to find who you are. I think when you get into your 30s, you find who you are and you make peace with that. And I'm really glad that, and if anything, the pandemic has made me realize just how much I want to do it, because when you see opportunities being taken away from you like that, it makes you realize my passion is definitely to perform and get out and perform music and record music and write music with people and musicians. So if anything, it's spurred me on to get back into doing what I love, which is writing music and performing it.
So once we get out of lockdown, then we'll have the new album to look forward to.
So the album's ready, the music videos are filmed, everything's done, artwork, everything was ready. The only thing is now I have to find a period where it's, you know, comfortable to go out and perform, because that whole industry is very much up in the air. I mean, who's going to feel comfortable going to a gig? Or so I don't mind if I have to wait another 6 months to a year. I'll keep it, because I've worked so hard on it, and it's really strong. It's a really strong pop record, and I just don't want it to fade into the distance because it didn't get the opportunity it deserved. And I very much structured the release in June because I had all those promotional dates surrounding that, so it was going to work very much from a promotional perspective. The record definitely would have been heard and would have been out there, and people would have been talking about it. And that's I want to have that I want to give it that opportunity when life comes back to normal. So if I have to release it in 2021, I'll release it then.
All right. But in the meantime, Proud, the new version is out now. I would imagine it's on all the iTunes and all the platforms like that.
It's on all the major online platforms. So yeah, go and check it out. And remember that the proceeds are going to both the NHS charities and the Rainbow Project.
Conleth, great talking to you, as always. Stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you back in Northern Ireland sometime soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Robin.
It started with one, a new life had begun. Drip after drip, sip after sip. And then it went to two, I didn't know what to do. Drip after drip, sip after sip. I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling things I thought I never would. I'm feeling naughty, I'm feeling nice. You got me hooked on your vice, you got me drinking your love potion. Not a good night, I don't feel right after drinking your love potion. Falling so deep, I'm unable to sleep after drinking your love potion. Drinking your stuff, but I've had enough and I'm not drinking that. Woo! I'm not drinking that. And I'm not drinking that. And I'm not drinking that. I said I'd never do it, but your body brought me to it. Drip after drip, sip after sip. You brought the devil out of me. I was so blind I couldn't see. Drip after drip, sip after sip. I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling things I thought I never would. I'm feeling naughty, I'm feeling nice. You got me cooked on your vice, you got me drinking your love potion. Not a good night, I don't feel right after drinking your love potion. Falling so deep, I'm unable to sleep after drinking your love potion. Drinking your stuff, but I've had enough and I'm not drinking that. Woo! I'm not drinking that. And I'm the drinking that. Oh, I'm the drinking that, baby. I'm going crazy and proud, feeling lonely and blue. Drinking your books so I can closer to you. I'm riddled with anxiety, losing my sanity. Drip after drip. I'm tired, I'm nervous, I'm lonely and blue. Drinking your potions so I can closer to you. I'm drowning in a deep abyss and nothing good could come from this. Sip after sip. Ooh, na 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 na. I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling things I thought I never would. I'm feeling naughty, I'm feeling nice. You got me crooked on your vice, you got me drinking your love potion. Not a good night, I don't feel right after drinking your love potion. Falling so deep, I'm unable to sleep after drinking your love potion. Drinking your stuff, but I've had enough and I'm the drinking that. I'm the drinking that. Oh, I'm the drinking that. I'm the drinking that. I'm the drinking that, baby.
So there we go, one from the Big Show archives, Conleth Kane there, and we'll have some more live music from the archives a little bit later on with Allison Mcgrath. But right now it's time to talk to Eamon Quinn from a local charity, Engage with Age, to find out about some great things happening for older people out there. Eamon joins us on the line. Hi Eamon, how are you, sir?
I'm very well. It's the end of the week. We've had a very busy time. Been in contact with a lot of older people throughout this week, so we've had a good one, so I'm very well indeed.
So tell us what you've been up to. There's a lot of doom and gloom and news stories out there at the moment, so let's talk about something positive and some great stuff happening for older people that you guys are currently involved in.
Yes, I think it's particularly difficult if you are an older person and you're told that you have to stay in your house, you can only go out once a week, you can't see anybody outside of your house, your family or your friends, and it's a very difficult and challenging time, and we're led to believe that that's going to be extended for a period of time. So Engage with Age, our role as a charity is to help older people live life to their full potential, and then suddenly they're told to stay indoors and they can't go out to meetings or get involved in activities. So what we are trying to do is to bring activities into people's homes in ways that they will be able to engage with and get involved in. Some people are on the internet and we've got activities that can help people who are online. And then many people aren't on the internet. Some people only have a telephone, and we've got smart and clever ways for being able to engage those people so that we help them look after their well-being, get involved in physical activities, get involved in mental well-being activities, a whole wide range of different things.
So let's talk about online first, and for many people, learning new technology, learning Zoom to keep in contact with your family, and apps like that, that can be pretty scary for people, can't it?
It is. It's daunting for somebody like me as well. I never had a Zoom meeting before the coronavirus started, so we've had to get used to doing that. At Engage with Age, I think one of our strengths is that we're very person-focused. We're really easy to talk to, and the conversations and the assistance that we can give is very personal. So we are encouraging people to give us a call and let us help you get online. Very many older people have got computers, or they've got smartphones, or they've got tablets, but they aren't using them because they're a little bit, unsure of them. They don't want to feel silly or daft or stupid. But Engage with Age's staff can work with people on a one-to-one basis to go through those very basic steps to get you up online, to open up a whole world of stimulation and entertainment, give guidance on how to use social media and Facebook and Twitter and so forth, so that you can make good connections with your friends and your family. So if people phone us in, we can get a member of staff to sit with you over the phone for, sometimes it takes a couple of hours over a number of days, but we will help you get online and you won't regret it. You really won't regret it. In relation to the other things that we do online, we've got a Facebook-based dance group that does dance routines individually, which go up every week. We have Zoom Bingo, which happens every other Thursday.
Now this is a chocolate bingo, isn't it?
Yes, chocolate bingo. Chocolate bingo is the name. Everybody who wins some chocolate through the post. We send the chocolate in an envelope and you receive it. And so we play chocolate bingo. The next one is this Thursday coming at 7:30 p.m. and we take a little break at 8 p.m. to clap for the NHS, and then everybody comes back. We have a pub quiz taking place. And we're going to be releasing details in the next couple of weeks about a one-day event where there's going to be a whole range of different activities for people online and offline. So that's an idea of what we can help provide people with online, Robin.
Now you've got the online book club as well, haven't you?
Yes, there's a book club. We've been supported by Libraries NI in getting together a book club, and it's the same format as an ordinary book club. You get told a particular title to read. One of them recently was Graham Norton's book, A Keeper, which everybody then reads, and then everyone comes together and they have a facilitated discussion about the book, what they liked about the book, what they thought was interesting, their favorite part, what they didn't like about the book, because people don't always like everything they read. And it's just a proper get-together. The benefit being that you don't have to leave your house to do that. You can have whatever refreshments you want. You can have a biscuit or a piece of cake while you're doing it. And you also get to see the other members of the book group. So it's something that's particularly useful and a way to maintain stimulation and maintain contact with people.
Now, tell us about the newspaper you've got out. It's doing really well, isn't it? There it is.
PAL Gazette. And this idea came about because we felt that we needed to be able to stay in contact with people who aren't on the internet. It's okay if you can receive emails or if you're on Facebook, but what if you aren't on the internet? So the PAL Gazette, you can see our headline for this week is Over 70 but Not Over the Hill, and that refers to the portrayal of older people in the media. But the PAL Gazette is a physical newspaper. It gets sent out in the post, ready to go, and people receive this. We encourage people to phone us with stories, with recipes, with jokes. We get a lot of contributions from different people. Every Saturday, I receive a text message through my phone from a woman from Lisburn who writes me a poem, and the poem comes through by text message, and that poem always goes onto the front cover of the PAL Gazette.
Wow.
I've had people phoning me in with family recipes. A woman phoned me in to tell me about her recipe for Belfast bread and butter pudding recently and the significance that it had for her. We've had a friend called Peter telling us about how he's danced with a number of women who starred in films with Elvis. We've got a history article this week which looks at the drinking fountain that's in Shaftesbury Square, which many people don't notice. So it's packed with lots of very interesting articles. It's also packed with quizzes as well. We have a rapid quickfire competition.
Yeah.
I think this one is the 12th person to phone our development officer, Kathy, wins a prize, £10 voucher. We have done Spot the Ball, but we also now have word searches. So it's a lot of fun. And this goes through, I mean, about over 1,000 people are reading this now. But it's very much to portray the views and the opinions of older people. So that's why our cover story is about the portrayal of older people, the portrayal of older people in the media, which we picked up as a result of a text message that we received recently.
Now, I noticed as well, in your newspaper, there's no advertising. So how do you guys keep going?
Well, Engage with Age is very lucky that we are funded by a range of different health bodies, because a lot of what we do is health promotion work. Engage with Age's mission is to enable older people to enjoy happier, healthier and more connected lives. So we receive support from the Belfast Trust, from the Public Health Agency. Belfast City Council is very supportive of what we do, because what we are encouraging is people to lead healthier lives in later life, to have more physical activity, to look after their own mental health, but also to work together, because older people make a very significant contribution to society. There was a study produced by the Commissioner for Older People in Northern Ireland a couple of years ago, and it estimated that people over the age of 60 make a net contribution to the economy in Northern Ireland of £500 million per year. So when you add up the value of all of the volunteering that older people do, the child minding that they do, the care that they provide for their partners, it is a net boost of £500 million into the Northern Ireland economy, which is quite a contribution. So we're very keen to help promote that. But as well as the paper, Robin, I was going to say we have other activities that we want to make available for people who don't happen to be on the internet. So one of the latest ones that we're doing is Spring Watch with one of our staff members called Martin. We send out an instruction to people to go for things to notice about nature when they go for their one walk every day. And then after they've completed that walk, we phone people up with a conference phone call. Martin is able to phone 8 people simultaneously, and the person on the other end just lifts the phone, and they're able to have a good conversation at the other end with 8 people about what they saw on their walk, the bird song that they heard, the plants and the flowers that they noticed growing as well. And that's the type of activities that we're trying to promote.
So if people want to get in touch with you or get involved, how do they do that?
We would love to hear from you. So if you phone our number 07710 993 036. We'll find out what you want to do, and we'll see if we can connect you up with one of our staff to help you. And that number again is 07710 993 036. I should say that sometimes people feel they're in a bit of a rut and they're not quite sure what they want to do. And that's something that we're very good at doing, is listening to people, hearing the type of things that interest them, and then trying to see if we can provide that little bit of, that little bit of encouragement. Because once people start to get involved in activities, our dance group, our Tai Chi, our home exercise groups, they really enjoy it, and it really does help a person look after themselves. So call us on that number, or if you're on Facebook, if you visit our page, Engage with Age Belfast, you'll find lots of information there, lots of classes, and also lots of good advice about how to stay well, but our contact details are on that page as well. And we would love to hear from you, because we're locked up as well. We can't get out either, and we love hearing from people.
Great stuff. So, Eamon, thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for having us. Have a good weekend.
Now it's time to talk movies, and something that is currently streaming on all digital platforms. A movie that comes from the makers of Yesterday and Bridget Jones's Diary. This is called The High Note. So, set in the dazzling world of the LA music scene comes the story of Grace Davis, played by Tracy Ellis Ross, a superstar whose talent and ego have reached unbelievable heights. Maggie, played by Dakota Johnson, is Grace's overworked personal assistant who's stuck running errands but still aspires to her childhood dream of becoming a music producer. When Grace's manager, played by Ice Cube, presents her with a choice that could alter the course of her career, Maggie and Grace come up with a plan that could change their lives forever.
Detroit. I can't hear you, Maggie. Detroit. I can't hear you, Detroit! I grew up around music. It's my whole world.
Got one more song for y'all tonight.
If you told 12-year-old me that one day I'd be working for Grace Davis, she's an icon. You okay?
Do I not look okay?
No, you look great. Amazing.
I know you think that she's gonna give you this life-changing shot, make you her producer.
Yes.
This woman doesn't even know your last name.
She does. Sometimes.
Hi. I want to go through my closet and donate things that aren't sparking joy. Joy.
Joyful.
Damn, the girls still give me goosebumps.
Well, Grace, have you thought any more about the Vegas residency?
Actually, I think it's time I record a new album.
I mean, that's one plan.
What am I supposed to say to her? I'm just a personal assistant, but I'd love to produce your music. There hasn't been a new Grace Davis record in a decade, and the fans want one.
Let me do my job, and you do yours, which is get her coffee, Kleenex, Kotex, and whatever else the hell we've been paying you to do for the last 6 months.
You get paid? I thought you were an intern.
My life is a joke! I didn't want to tell you were Jack. I did a cut of the album.
Hey, I can hear y'all. Y'all know it's a damn microphone in there, right?
I just wanted to take a shot.
Who the hell you think you are, Missy Elliott?
They don't love you, they don't love you.
It's about trust and commitment. In the history of music, only 5 women over 40 have ever had a #1 hit, and only one of them was black.
It's not over for you.
I could say to settle your mind, something to prove.
I know everyone is happy with me doing the same show every night. What if there's something more?
I want to be a part of that.
Wait, is this your car?
Yeah.
You need to ask your boss for a raise.
Is the food coming, sir?
We've been over this. We are not a drive-thru.
Well, it should be. It could be.
Oh my God, is that Grace Davis?
No.
Now we're going to finish the show tonight with some live music from the archives.
And this is Allison Mcgrath, The Letter. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I seen you yesterday down the road. you gonna know? I seen you yesterday, Glance's throne. Oh, baby, are you gonna know? I said, oh, 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 no. Oh, baby, are you gonna know? I said, oh, 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 no. Oh, baby, are you gonna know? I sent the letter about a week ago. Baby, are you gonna know? Only you can work it out. Baby, are you gonna know? I said, oh, 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 no. Baby, are you gonna know? I said, oh, 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 no. Baby, are you gonna know? Someday we're gonna talk somewhere, baby, then you're gonna know. You'll smile and say, let's go out someday, baby, then you're gonna know. I said, oh, 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 no. Baby, are you gonna know? I said, oh,